You ready?
Man, beginning of the week. Gotta love Mondays.
Yeah, so last week we had some really great workshops on kind of scratching the surface of some of the things that we're going to dive into at Dealmaker Live, our event that's coming up in April in Atlanta. It's right around the corner. So, in that event, we're going through the four pillars that you need to master in order to do your first apartment building. In the workshops that we had, one of them was a capital raising tips workshop. And you said you learned a thing or two.
Yeah, so we had some really cool workshops, and the workshops were exclusive for particular ticket buyers because we're running the different ticket tiers, and the early bird people that took action were able to participate in three specific workshops. I like the logic and the flow of how we set it up because the first one was about how to talk to brokers so that you can find deals. And then when you find those deals, how do you analyze it was workshop two. And then workshop three was after I analyze the deals, how do I raise capital? Learned a lot from each of those. But I think the one that was really cool was in capital raising, because that's probably the fastest way to get in. If you can walk in the door of a syndicator and say, man, I've got, money to put in, that's a powerful place to be. So I was locked in with the capital raising session, and we had some pretty heavy hitting guests there. So I did definitely learn two. I took away two ways to find people that either are already investing as a limited partner or are looking to invest their unplaced capital. So it was pretty powerful stuff that I learned there.
Yeah, definitely. And then I know you were talking about some ideas related to using social media in order to help you reach some of those people. What was that all about?
Yeah. So what was interesting is one of our presenters, who's also going to be presenting at Dealmaker Live on the same topic, she just kind of revealed a little bit of how she was able to pick up some pretty significant amounts of money when she was raising capital. On the workshop, we talked about uh, hitting up your friends and family, right? It gets you to get through the fail fast, but fail in a safe space because they already know you. There's going to be some objections, etc. So Raquel Atkins was our instructor, and she shared how she used our script, the raising capital script, to jumpstart it. But then, as she felt more comfortable, she started to share how she's using social media and how she's putting out the information, and then it's attracting people to her. What was interesting is one of our other expert guides, Jason Monk, shared how he's using social media, and what he's doing is he's taking his regular old personal profile, and then he's finding other real estate investing groups on Facebook. He's joining them, and then he's strategically finding particular groups to where he can make a post, and a post would either be something about a, a property that he's looking into. But what he specifically did is he took an OM, I think it was an OM, and then he posted. Oh no, he did a sample deal package.
Hmm.
So a sample deal package is something that if you're not in DML, or if you haven't purchased your ticket to DML, get it, because
Mhm.
we're going to unpack what a sample deal packet is and its relation to raising capital in a very, very streamlined but also strong manner. So what Jason did is he took a sample deal package, went to a Facebook group, posted about it, and then all the engagement that came from it were solid people, were other people wanting to partner with him, but also people that had unplaced capital. So investors that had money. So he just kind of built his list from there, and that was genius. I think. And now remember, there's not just one Facebook group that you could do that in, right? You don't want to spam, but you want to be strategic in the particular Facebook group, and then post your sample deal package. It was great. It was, yeah, very, very good tip.
Yeah, and one thing he said was a lot of the people in these groups, they're talking about other types of real estate investing, flipping and everything. So coming in with a multifamily deal, you stand out like a sore thumb in a good way, right? So it's really
Yeah,
helpful to reach more people.
I'm glad that you mentioned that because Dealmaker Live is designed for the professional that's already invested in stock markets and a bunch of other things, but's looking for the alternative. It's also specifically for a lot of these single family home flippers and investors that are looking to scale, right? Because you're on that hamster wheel, you gotta go out and get a deal, fix it, flip it, and then you get money and then do it again. But when you come to Dealmaker Live, you'll learn how you can actually do it at scale with apartments. So you can reach your financial goal with apartments. Um, and yeah, Jason definitely shed light on that crowd. If you go to the different Facebook groups, there's a bunch of different real estate investors, that umbrella. Um, but here's the deal. If you have a good deal, people will show up. Yeah. Yeah. So you just need to know where to get a deal from and how to analyze it.
Right. And I think a lot of people might start with flipping because it feels a little less intimidating, or start with single family because they tell themselves, well, that seems more capable. Like that seems like a better starting point. But really, and we'll dive way more into this at Dealmaker Live, once you break down the four pillars, you'll see it's
Mm,
totally possible and attainable, and you're absolutely capable of going right into multifamily. A lot of people in their minds, they see a big apartment building, they think that's out of touch, out of reach, but it's really not when you have a blueprint, proven steps to get you from A to B, and you can skip over all of the like crazy hustle that goes into one house to the next house, and like you are always working when you're flipping, and to really shift into something that'll scale your portfolio, and then also help actually achieve financial freedom as well. So
yeah.
that's and if you're hearing us say DML and you're like, what are you talking about? Look in the caption here, dealmakerliveevent.com. It's an awesome event that we put on every year. And this year is going to be extra spectacular because we're really breaking it down into absolutely every single thing that you need to know to get your first apartment building in 6 months. It's going to be awesome. So these capital raising tips, some of the things we're talking about here, it's really just scratching the surface of what we're going to be diving into.
Yeah. The sad part is the media. The media really pushed out single family home investing, starting with different books and different, famous people and all that stuff. And that's driving this misconception that apartments um, aren't for everyone. When the reality is the process is for everyone. It's just a matter of you being aware of it and then jumping right in, because you can literally skip all of those things from the fixing and flipping things, and jump right into apartments and syndication and get to your financial freedom goal a lot faster. So don't believe the lies out there saying that you have to wholesale first, or you have to buy a single family home, or you have to do house hacking and blah blah blah. No, you actually have to do a syndication. Yeah, jump right in, because the same effort that it'll take you to get what, one home, to a duplex, is the same effort that it'll take to get a 50 unit, right? If you have the right system,
Right.
obviously.
And Michael Blanc, we're obviously on Michael's team, so we get the privilege of getting to hear his wisdom all the time. He talks about how for some people, their first apartment deal, they just can't wrap their heads around a ton of units. So he's like, "Well, try smaller 20 units, and then you'll quickly see that doing 50 units, 100 units isn't really that much more work than those 20 units." Like it's so much goes to mindset. And I think too what you were talking about, Rob, of like, people being told you have to start out this way, this is the way to do it. Well, that's not who we're interested in helping, because we don't want to help people who want the traditional track of the lifestyle of a W-2 that you're miserable at, running in the rat race. Like the people who come to us are people who want a better life. They have passions that they care about, charities they care. They have all these causes that really drive them
Mm,
to do something outside the box. If you're working towards financial freedom, you're doing something very different than most of the people out there, but the payoff is absolutely incredible. So I think a lot of it just goes goes to the mindset of like same thing of I have to start in single family before I go to an apartment. Same concept of I have to work a W-2 forever. Financial freedom seems unattainable. It's all about just flipping that switch once you see it's possible and you surround yourself with other people who have done it. They're going to be expanders for you. That's really what it takes is to get yourself into a room with people who've already done it. Then that's all it takes. And we've all had that moment of, well, if they can do it, I can do it. And that's really going to be another great aspect of Dealmaker Live. So again, get your tickets, dealmakerliveevent.com. It's coming up. You're going to want to book your flights, book your hotel stay. It's going to be absolutely incredible.
Yeah, get your tickets and we'll see you there. The cool thing, like you mentioned, is there's going to be a ton of people like-minded, same drive, same passion, same vision that you can connect with, right? And then that's where you find your partners and you can kind of go further together, right? And faster too. Yeah, with a team of people. So you can meet them there at Dealmaker Live, April 11th through 13th in
Yep.
Atlanta, Georgia.
Yeah.
Yeah, come see Michael, meet Drew, Garrett, and the Michael Blanc team and Nighthawk Equity team. So show up and we'll show some love. Cool.
Great. Awesome. Alrighty, Rob. Talk to you later.